Good evening, friends in the Dhamma, Pinvatuni. You are joining to our live broadcast of our daily Buddha Puja, chanting, Dhamma reflection and meditation via Facebook and YouTube, lmmc.online. So we at the London Mindfulness Meditation Center are broadcasting this evening religious observance so that you can participate from home during this lockdown restriction period. We will continue this until 24th of October initially when we hold our Kathina ceremony. So during this rains retreat, every day we are broadcasting our religious observance, Puja, Dhamma reflection, meditation and chanting for your well-being, and generously sponsored by devotees for you to participate from home as well. So rains retreat is the time when devotees and monks get together to enhance their religious and spiritual journey towards Nibbana, to deepen their practice in the Dhamma, enhance their knowledge and practice the Dhamma, and also clarify the knowledge or remind themselves of existing knowledge so that they can nurture into the spiritual advancement. So today the generous sponsorship is made by Mr. Sarat and Mrs. Erika Kurugamage, along with their children Ravinda and daughter-in-law Shyami and son Damite. The intention is to bless the departed parents, Mrs. Rupa Udavatta and Hema Udavatta, as well as Mr. Sarat's parents, Padma Pereira and Victor Pereira. So both of the parents, departed parents, we dedicate this Pinkama or religious observance for their well-being. May they receive our blessings and be happy and rejoice in our religious observance and be happy wherever they are and continue their journey in samsāra, ultimately achieving the blissful state of Nibbana. Mrs. Erika Kurugamge would also like to share merit with her brother-in-law, Upali Abe Vikrama, who passed away 7 days ago. So we wish him happiness. May he rejoice in our Pinkama and relieve himself from any unfortunate conditions. And if he is in a good state, may he prosper and rejoice and eventually attain the blissful state of Nibbana. So with those kind intention, the Kurugamage family have sponsored today's event, today's puja. So as usual, we will worship the Buddha and then chant Ratana Sutta. Following that, around 7 o'clock, we will continue with our Dhamma reflection, citing a stanza that we have been doing, and finally end up with practicing Metta Bhavana. So to observe 5 precepts prior to Buddha Vandana, say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchāmi. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchāmi. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchāmi. Pānātipātā vēramani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi. Adinādānā vēramani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi. Kāmesu miccācārā vēramani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi. Musāvādā vēramani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi. Surāmiraya majjapamā daṭṭhānā vēramani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi. Tisaranena saddhiṃ pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ appamādena sampādetabbam. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Itipiso bhagavā arahaṃ sammā sambuddho. Vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu. Anuttaro purisa dhammasārathi. Sattā deva manussānaṃ buddho bhagavāti. Buddhaṃ jīvitaṃ yāva nibbānaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Ye ca buddhā atītā ca ye ca buddhā anāgatā. Paccapannā ca ye buddhā ahaṃ vandāmi sabbadā. Natti me saranang aññaṃ buddho me saranang varaṃ. Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalam. Uttamangena vandehaṃ pādapang suvaruttamam. Buddheyo khalito doso buddho khamatu taṃ mamam. Swakkhāto bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akāliko. Ehi passiko opanayiko paccattaṃ veditabbo viññohiti. Dhammaṃ jīvitaṃ yāva nibbānaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Ye ca dhammā atītā ca ye ca dhammā anāgatā. Paccappanna ca ye Dhamma ahang vandami sabbada Nathi me saranang anyang Dhammo me saranang varang Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalang Uttamangena vandehang Dhamman ca tividhang varang Dhamme yo khalito doso Dhammo khamatu tang mamang Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ujjupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Sāmīci patipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Yadidang cattari purisa yugani Attha purisa puggala Esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Dakhineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang puññakhetang lokasati Sanghang jivitang yava nibbanang saranang gacchami Ye ca sangha atita ca Ye ca sangha anagata Paccappanna ca ye sangha Ahang vandami sabbada Nathi me saranang anyang Sangho me saranang varang Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalang Uttamangena vandehang Sanghang ca tividhottamang Sangheyo khalito doso Sangho khamatu tang mamang Kanasarappadittena dīpena tamadhangsina Tilokadīpang sambuddhang pujayami tamonudang Gandha sambhara yuttena dhupenahang sugandhina Pujaye pujaniyantang Puja bhajana muttamang Vanna gandha gunopetang Etang kusuma santating Pujayami munindassa Siripada saroruhe Pujemi buddhang kusumena nena Puññena metena ca hotu mokkhaṃ Pupphaṃ milayāti yatha idamme Kāyo tatha yāti vināsa bhāvaṃ Adhivāsetu no bhante pāniyaṃ parikappitaṃ Anukampaṃ upādāya patiganhātu uttama Adhivāsetu no bhante gilāna paccayaṃ imaṃ Anukampaṃ upādāya patiganhātu uttama Adhivāsetu no bhante sabbaṃ saddhāya pūjitaṃ Anukampaṃ upādāya patiganhātu uttama Vandāmi cetiyaṃ sabbang sabbathāni supatitthitaṃ Sāririka dhātu mahābodhiṃ Buddha rupang sakalang sada Yassa mule nisinnova Sabbari vijayang aka Patto sabbanyutang sattha Vande tang bodhipadapang Ime ete mahabodhi Lokanathena pujita Aham pite namassami Bodhiraja namattute Kayena vaca cittena Pamadena maya katang Acchayang kamami bhante Bhuri panye tathagate Kayena vaca cittena Pamadena maya katang Acchayang kamami dhamme Sanditthika akalika Kayena vaca cittena Pamadena maya katang Acchayang kamami sangha Supatipanne anuttara Ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang puñña sampadang Sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya Ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang puñña sampadang Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya Ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang puñña sampadang Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya Idammi ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo Idammi ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo Idammi ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo Imina puñña kammine mami bala samagamo Satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya Idammi puññaṁ asavakkaya vahang hotu Sambha dukkha pamuncatu Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, we are going to chant Ratana Sutta now. As most of you know, Ratana Sutta was uttered by the Buddha, or the contents were delivered by the Buddha during the pandemic that occurred in the city of Kusala during the Buddha's time. So upon request, people wanted blessings for happiness, to ward off mishaps, to bring about good health. So whenever there is similar time, we usually chant Ratana Sutta to bless everyone, especially for your good health, happiness, success and prosperity. During this pandemic time, we wish you every happiness, good health, especially peace of mind at homes. So may the chanting be helpful for your well-being. May you be blessed by the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. May you enjoy good health, and as an online community, may you all have happiness throughout. So we also dedicate the chanting to anyone who is ill, so bring them to your minds. May they have speedy recovery, may they gain good health and enjoy good health. Furthermore, may all the key workers, including NHS staff, doctors and nurses, may everyone enjoy good health and have more determination and courage to continue their valuable services to the nation and especially COVID-19 patients and their families. So may you all be well, happy and peaceful. So please listen to chanting with attention and respect. Samanta cakkavalesu atra gacchantu devata saddhammang munirajassa sunantu saggamokkhadan parittassavana kalo ayang bhadanta parittassavana kalo ayang bhadanta parittassavana kalo ayang bhadanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Yani bhutani samagatani bhummani vayani vayantalikhe Sambeva bhuta sumana bhavantu atopi sakkacca sunantu bhasitam Tasmahi bhutani sametha sabbe mettam karotha manusiya pajaya Divacharatto ca haranti e baling tasmahine rakkata appamatta Yankinci vittang idhavahurang va sagge suvayang ratanang panitang Nano samang atti tathagatena idampi buddhe ratanang panitang Etena saccena suvatti hotu Kayang viragang amatang panitang yadajjaga sakya muni samahito Natena dhammena samatti kinci idampi dhamme ratanang panitang Etena saccena suvatti hotu Yang buddha settho parivannai sucing samadhimanantarikanyamahu Samadhinatena samona vicchati idampi dhamme ratanang panitang Etena saccena suvatti hotu Ye puggala attha satang pasattha cattari etani yugani honti Te dakhineya sugatassa savaka ete sudinnani Mahaphalani idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Yesupayutta manasa dalhena nikkamino gotama sasanamhi Te patipatta amatang vigaihe laddha mudha nibbuting bhunjamana Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Yathinda khilo pathaving sitosiya catubbhivātebhi asampakampiyo Tathupamang sappurisang vadāmi yo variya saccāni avecca passati Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Ye ariya saccāni vibhāvayanti gambhīra paññena sudesitāni Kincāpi te honti busappamattā nate bhavang attamang ādiyanti Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Sahavassa dassana sampadāya tayassu dhamma jahita bhavanti Sakkaya ditthi vicikiccitan ca silabbatan vapi yadatti kinci Chatuha payehi ca vippamutto ca cabithanani abhabbo katung Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Kincapi sokammang karoti papakang kayena vaca udcetasava abhabbo so tassa paticchādāya abhabbata dittha padassa vutta Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Vanapagumbe yatha pussitagge gimhanamase pathamasmin gimhe tathupamang dhammavarang adesai nibbānagaming paramang hitaya Idampi buddhe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Varo varanyo varado varaharo anuttaro dhamma varang adesai Idampi buddhe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Khinang puranang navang natti sambhavang viratta citta ayatike bhavasming Te khina bija avirulhichhanda nibbanti dhira yathayang padipo Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Yani dabhutani samagatani bhummani vayani vayantalikhe Tathāgatang deva manussa pujitang buddhang namassāma suvatti hotu Yani dabhutani samagatani bhummani vayani vayantalikhe Tathāgatang deva manussa pujitang dhammang namassāma suvatti hotu Yani dabhutani samagatani bhummani vayani vayantalikhe Tathāgatang deva manussa pujitang sanghang namassāma suvatti hotu Etena sacca vajjena dukkha upasamentu te Etena sacca vajjena bhaya upasamentu te Etena sacca vajjena roga upasamentu te Devo vassatu kālena sassa sampatti hetu ca Pīto bhavatu loko ca raja bhavatu dhammiko Ākāsattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika Puññantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu loka sāsanang Ākāsattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika Puññantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu dhamma desanang Ākāsattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika Puññantang anumoditva cirang rakkhantu mang paranti Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So that is the end of Ratana Sutta chanting. So we invoke the blessings of the Triple Gem, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, for your well-being, happiness, and especially during this time. May you enjoy good health and continue to enjoy good health through the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So that dedication was also for everyone who is ill and also all the key workers and doctors and nurses working tirelessly for the well-being of many. So we wish everyone every happiness. So during this Vas retreat or Rains retreat, as we've been announcing, we are reflecting on stanzas that are in the book called Dhammapada. So if you are new, it is a collection of sayings of Buddha, particularly as advices or as reflection given an incident. There are about 423 verses in this book, and it is a nice book where every stanza can be unpacked and so that we can enhance our knowledge or even remind ourselves of what lies in the Dhamma. So it is not just a book to have it on a shelf, but actually to look through it. So all those stanzas are not in this particular sequence, obviously, because they were collected and then compiled with that book called Dhammapada. So today I would like to refer to the opposite of yesterday's stanza. So yesterday's stanza was about repent, about wrong actions that or your habitual tendencies, or even the word tendency, that which we the more we engage in certain things, the more that becomes a tendency within ourselves, and we reflected that it can bring about unhappiness, and it can cause you to suffer here and even in future lives. So we recall the story of Serivani Jataka yesterday, and how not being able to free himself from anger and jealousy, Devadatta in his previous life happened to continue with that tendency in the births subsequently, and then eventually, even during the Buddha's time, he was somehow unable to get rid of his jealousy against the Buddha, and therefore plotted to kill the Buddha twice. Failing so, he also divided the community of the followers of the Buddha, especially what we call it the Sangha, the community, making 5 requests, knowing that the Buddha would not agree. So he was intentionally trying to make a schism, and eventually divided the Sangha and took and his followers to the forest. Obviously repenting in all his negative actions, he wanted to apologize, but it was a bit too late, and by the time he was carried towards the Buddha's vihara, as soon as he lay his foot on the ground, it is recorded that he sunk into the earth, which is in a woeful state as a pie that he went to. He was born in a woeful state. So today is the opposite of it in terms of the state of mind as well. So it is idha nandati pecha nandati kata puñño ubhayatta nandati puññang me katanti nandati bhiyo nandati sugating gato. Basically, the righteous people are always happy. So when you look at what righteous, in contrast to the tendencies and habits that we reflected on the negative side, imagine if it was the positive side. Your thinking pattern is always righteous, and therefore you are happy. So one is happy here and happy hereafter. So in both states, the well-doer is happy. Okay, thinking such that I have done good deeds, the person will always be happy and eventually go to a blissful state or blissful state of existence. So dugati means unhappy place, or a place, absence of happiness. Sugati means an existence or a place of existence with happiness. So devoid of happiness, contrasting to the enjoyment of fulfillment. So the word sugati is there. So now this was, it's not like the Devadatta story, but this story has something quite different as a background. Okay, so Sumana, this is the third daughter or the youngest daughter of Anathapindika. So Anathapindika was a very generous millionaire, if you put it in today's words, or a billionaire. He was very generous, and he was one of the chief supporters of the Buddha. So in every sutta we have the word Anatha Pindikasa Arame. So he donated the Jetavana Vihara to the Buddha. The Jeta owned the bamboo, or the Jeta owned that place. And what Anatha Pindika did was, it is said that he spread gold coins to buy that plot of land for the Buddha. So Jetanarama is where the Buddha observed rains retreat, like we are observing now. So the most the number of rains retreat was observed in the Jetavana Vihara by the Buddha as well. So he was a chief supporter of the Buddha. So he was when he was lying in his deathbed. So basically, his daughters were in marriage, and this young daughter was a bit away, staying away, but also always engaging in religious, what we call meritorious deeds. Engaging in meritorious deeds, this daughter happened to become ill at one time. So Anathapindika went to her deathbed, went to her house where she was living, and approached her deathbed, and suddenly, to his shock, she addressed him as younger brother. Now, Anathapindika was really shocked. Why is my own youngest daughter is addressing me as younger brother? And obviously at that moment, she was still peaceful and passed away, died peacefully as well. Now the father, Anathapindika, was a bit shocked and a bit worried. Now, how can a younger daughter call her father as younger brother? So how and he was worried, and he thought that she was in a wrong state of mind. Those words were so incoherent. It was not, was it not meant to be, or was it in a deluded state of mind? Was she in a different, influence of medicine or other, things? So when he went and told this to the Buddha, and the Buddha explained that actually she was in a very good state of mind. Her habitual tendencies or her development of her mental state was in such a good condition. She cannot be, or she was not in a deluded or unconscious state. So, but then why did she call me younger brother, Bhai or Malli, and then the Buddha said, actually she is spiritually more advanced, or she has attained spiritual status more than you have. And this then opens the understanding of 4 stages of enlightenment, and there are 4 stages of enlightenment. So the first one is Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, and then the 4th one is Arahant. So she happened to be in the 2nd stage, whereas the father was not there yet. So therefore, being in the Sakadagami, one's returner state, whereas the father was just in the 1st stage of enlightenment. So you can see why the Buddha said that she called you as the youngest daughter, that you as younger brother. And so if you look at this, I would like to again just reflect on the words here in terms of the word kata puñño. Okay, so in the Pali, puñña means merit, which we discussed briefly some time ago. So kata puñño, so having done good deeds, ubayata nandati, so we'll actually be peaceful or happy. Nandati means to rejoice, to be happy, here and hereafter. So although the stanza doesn't have much about the context of the stages of enlightenment, but obviously when the Buddha revealed the stages, then it shows us that what is actually So there are two things I would like to maybe briefly discuss today, given the time. One is about puñña, and then the contrasting, stage about the attainment of the saint, or the stages of nibbana. Because as we all would accept that puñña is merit, and merit is conducive for the samsāric journey, and that gives you happiness. And whereas to attain to a state, or to be an entrant in the stream or in the path of enlightenment, it is more or less about kusala, or it is more or less about wholesome actions. And this is a dilemma sometimes, quite often. Even scholars have actually tried to work on this quite differently. Is puñña and kusala the same? Which perhaps in the longer run we will try to find an answer to. But today we'll just focus on the word puñña, and perhaps how puñña helps us to to have even a good tendency of mind, and that tendency then habitual, which is normally seen as a purification process, and whether whether the 10 meritorious deeds could possibly be also an act of skillful, whether it is a skillful act or not, skillfulness. So therefore, the word puñña is obviously widely quoted Pali. Definition would be cittang punātīti puñña. So something that pleases your mind, as puñña. Now, perhaps obviously, as I said in the past one or two broadcasts, that you could actually beat up someone and still be happy. You could entertain yourself and be happy. You could do wrong things and be happy. You could but that is not what the word puñña punātīti in this context means. It's about rejoicing and being happy, or being happy in something that you do, which obviously the previous wrong actions would be just nurturing your greed and hatred. So that cannot be puñña at all. Puñña has to be something that actually reduces the what we call unwholesome roots. So you can see puñña is also linked to this wholesome and unwholesomeness, and this is why I wanted to discuss something today, which is whether puñña, whatever you do, is actually also a skillful act. It is a skillful act, and we have to try to understand that, because I remember in the Kalama Sutta, you can see that the Buddha asked the Kalamas, in terms of what is good and bad. You can see that is the Buddha question, when something is done, or when harm is done, is it done out of goodwill or bad thoughts? And obviously it is about bad thoughts. So we'll go into Kalam Sutta another day, specifically when it comes into this, as well as in the freedom of thinking. But you have to remember, when you say puñña purify, it can become a way of purifying your mind. It can be used as a way to help us to reduce the negative values that we normally cherish, or we nurture unknowingly sometimes. So when you engage in something skillful, which other people are not able to do, you can see that you are doing something quite different. Because if you go through the list of the 10 meritorious deeds, you can see that these are something which are quite skills based, because not everyone can actually do this. So yes, we say it is merit, and when the word merit is used a lot of time as well, because monks, lay people, everyone needs merit. Is where we have learned, we've heard a lot about those things. Everyone needs merit. Puññāni paralokasmiṃ patittā honti pāninam. Punya is what actually becomes a blessing as well as a helpful condition for anyone. So yesterday we looked into the Chulla Kamma Vibhanga Sutta, and it says that karma is what makes your highs and lows in life. So if punya is also important, and if punya is what is accumulating karma, then it is about that that energy that we build up, which actually supports someone in this life and in future lives. It's not about the sacrifices as in the pre-Buddhist time, where where they believe that punya or karma was something that you do, and you actually you get something. Whereas the Buddha then said, no, it's not about what you do as sacrifices, or pleasing gods, doing lots of sacrifices. Karma in Buddhism, the Buddha said, is the intention. When you say the intention, then it is that sort of outlet or output that someone puts into their thinking process, their actions and their deeds. So, cetanahang bhikkhave kammang vadami. It is this intention that I call karma. Okay, so if it is that, if karma is what actually follows you as good and bad results, perhaps merit is also then seen as something that will help. Because in some countries people say like merit making, which means doing good, then which is about when you do good, it becomes karma as well. So you can see the link between punya and karma. Because if karma is as your inheritance, karma is your relative, karma is your origin of personality, and all this highs and lows in life that you experience. If karma is what is bringing that, then perhaps it is going back and having a look at what is this karma. And if punya is also seen as something that you do something, and we say that punya is what supports you throughout your samsāric and future lives, then perhaps there is a bit of a relationship in this. But then when you look at the story of this gatha, then we look at in terms of the word skills as well. So there is a bit of a relation that we need to find a sort of a thread that actually links all of this. So first let's go through, given the time, let's go through what obviously is in terms of merit, what is seen in Buddhism. So the first one is dāna or generosity. The second one is morality or having your ethical restraint. And the third one is meditation or transforming or developing your mind or purifying your mind. So as you can see, again, the widely quoted gatha in Buddhism is sabba papas akaranam kusala sopasampada sacitta paryodapanam. So it's about avoiding or doing that or not doing of evil things, developing skills and purifying your mind. And you can see that even these three things, dāna, sīla, bhāvana, generosity, morality, meditation, that they are also widely seen as the meritorious deeds, which can then, the 10 meritorious deeds also can be categorized into under these three titles as well. So the key advice of the Buddha is those three things, etang buddhana sasanam. And when you look at this, so you can see that dāna, for example, is not everyone can be generous, and the way the generosity is expected in Buddhism. Yes, we discuss about giving away, throwing parties, giving to charities, giving to homeless people, orphanages, elderly homes. All this charity is there, but we go a bit further, and we're talking about charity with not expecting anything in return, or not expecting anything, or not having any connections, or even no hidden agendas. Now that is a great skill that you have to master. That is, not everyone can do that. When someone gives something, it is always the personal connection. I would believe majority, it is that a personal connection or the personal hidden something is there. Now that might not be, if it is not practiced properly, it will not go as far as the word paramita or perfection that we are talking about. So you can see it's quite like a skills based here, isn't it? The art of giving that you master step by step. You share something, what you have, you share with the community, we share with the monks, we share with your friends, family, but as soon as you see someone who you don't like or who is not invited to the party, you have a problem. So then that is not sort of true giving. That is giving but not giving as well. So when we look at the word, kusala, it's a skill. So skill in letting go, which is embedded in the giving. So as soon as you see someone you don't like, would you do the same gesture to give? Now that is where the challenge is. So yes, giving is meritorious. Yes, it is puñña. You actually sow and then you reap. That will happen automatically. You reap what you sow. But was it a skillful act is what we have to think. And so how do we develop this skillful? Do you give to those people that you know, or to anyone that you don't know? Do you give with hidden agendas? Do you give, so that your name can be published? Do you give so that you are announced? Do you give that you want certain things? May I receive this in future life? Or what is it that you're expecting in that particular sacrifice? So the best of giving is nothing. Expecting nothing, no hooks, no links, no hidden agendas, pure giving. Whether when you give, even if it is a person that you don't like, or the recipient is not going to actually use it wisely, you just give. Now that becomes kusala for me. That is the ability to be even happy for the recipient. If you actually change your way of thinking and attitude by looking at the recipient, then that giving is not skills based. So therefore, in the 10 meritorious deeds, we are talking about sharing of merit. We are talking about rejoicing in other people's good deeds and other people's achievements. Now look at this. This is reducing our jealousy and selfishness. You share even what you have. You, as like the candle, you light one candle and you share the flame so that we light 1,000 candles. Nothing is reduced when you share. You are happy now, you are happy when others receive as well. And that is puñña. When you rejoice in other people's good deeds, I said yesterday a lot about this. When you look at other people's achievement and success and happiness, and if you're jealous about it, if you start finding faults, if you start commenting on it, if you're making a random negative, sarcastic comment about this person's achievement or attainment or happiness, there is no generosity, there is no letting go. Your tendency, your habitual pattern is not actually developing generosity. What has happened is you're developing your selfishness and ego. Yesterday I referred to examples like if someone is wearing a nice pair of shoes and you start thinking, oh, maybe my one is better, or maybe I'm going to get this next time for myself. Fair enough, but actually you've actually not rejoiced in this person's achievement. If you say or if you start thinking, where did this person get the money to buy this? Or look at in this person, how can he afford to do this? And all of these comments are showing that you are not able to be free. So you have not overcome jealousy and selfishness when you can't be happy for other people's attainment. So even in the word dana, which is normally seen as a meritorious thing, when you develop your ways of looking at it, then we are thinking of the word kusala here as skills. So if you look at the second instruction, second sort of verse in the widely chosen Sabbha Purpose Akarana, you can see that kusalasya upasampada, develop skills. So you can make the meritorious moment, or whatever you're doing, the good act, a skills-based act. So when we share, when we happy when someone is getting something from you, when you are actually together sitting and actually just rejoicing in in people's successes. That's why parents are seen as the people that can do this most when they look at children's successes. Other people might be jealous and pull others' legs, whereas parents will never do that for their children. No matter how successful they are, they will not be jealous and selfish in their children's attainments and successes. So these are the examples used to show how we have to be able to be rejoiced in other people's successes. So we refer to the word called mudita yesterday. Mudita is something that you rejoice when other person achieves and is successful. So this is what dana makes you go as far as from letting go to to be able to actually even free yourself, not just what is gone from you, but when others get, you are still happy and you don't question anything. So the second meritorious deed is seen as sila. Sila is morality. So it is about, again, now the thought process that actually is exposed. What you think cannot be seen unless it perhaps you do an impression, or you do an act, or you say something. Now that is where you're completely exposing your state of mind. So your impression, your physical, and your verbal stuff. The way you the outlets are those. So it's called dwara in Buddhism. So so when we properly practice this, we have it is said that vattang na paripurenti silam na paripuriti. If you do not do your duties as in terms of like cleanliness, or in terms of helping others, or paying respects, then your sila doesn't actually the sila doesn't is not fully practiced. Sila is about, obviously, I don't want to go much because we've discussed sila a lot in past, but just to quickly outline for those who are quite new to listening to this, sila, there are three physical actions that are quite seen negative because it causes harm, and it is shadowed or influenced by greed or hate or ignorance. So killing or harming living beings, taking what is not yours, and and engaging in sensual misconduct. So the pleasing your senses by misusing the senses, or so we call it sensual misconduct, and go further down with sexual misconduct as well, which is part of the body anyway. So sensual misconduct. So these are the three physical wrong things that you do. So when you are able to maintain this, it is seen as puñña, or it is seen as merit. Now think carefully, isn't this a skills based? When other people, when they get angry, they lift their fist. So when you don't lift your fist, or when you don't do anything, you restrain yourself, we see it as puñña as well, but actually I also see it as a skills based. You are skillful to not do that. You have developed mindfulness, and you have been skillful to not actually raise your hand, not actually to move forward to steal. So we say sila as puñña, as merit, but actually isn't it the purification process? Isn't that helping you to purify your state of mind? So puñña is actually helping you to purify and help you to support your habitual tendency, which could go in the wrong direction. So sila helps you to divert to the correct, or the proper direction, or to the correct path. So if you are angry, you would harm someone. If you don't have loving kindness, you'll harm someone. If you are greedy, you will steal. You will even think of possessing, or being so covetous, you will to possess others' properties and things. And if you are, so attached to your ego, or to your body, or your pursuit of senses, will make you break the third precept as well. And then the words, being untruthful, telling lies, shouting and hurting others with your words, harsh speech, raising your voice unnecessarily for unnecessary reasons and stuff. So harsh speech, you can do that skillfully, but harsh speech, then backbiting, which is one thing we discussed yesterday as well. People can't avoid talking behind other people's back because they have a nice face in front of someone, but as soon as they go, oh, this is this type of person, this person has done something, so you can see like that, and then again start breaking up relationships, talking negative about each other outside their presence, so starting to actually even talk about negative things, so that or less reminding of scandalous or making things quite scandalous. So, that is again done out of ill will, that is done out of, anger, that is done out of jealousy, that is done out of your ego, because you want to make them inferior or minimize their status. You are not happy about their achievement or whoever they are, and sometimes it doesn't have to be your personal thing, it can be even the person that you support in a political party or something. Once they say something about someone, you feel offended. So all of this is again showing the nature of your mind. And again, gossip. Imagine how many words that come out of your mouth is quite sensible or is quite useful. Is it about someone? Are you gossiping or talking about someone all the time? Are you always talking about rubbish things? Are you always talking about your personal entertainment? So you can see, maybe 80 or 90% of our talks might be this. We don't know. Are we talking something like truthful? Are we talking something about the Dhamma? Are we talking something how to progress in your personal life, whether it is Dhamma related or not related? Think about something good, positive. Maybe most of the time we are thinking negative. So those four things are quite the things that we do verbally wrong. So when we use the word merit, actually we are refraining from those things, which means we are being a bit skillful. Okay, given the opportunity, you refrain from doing, you abstain from doing it, right? And then what happens is you are telling your mind, this is not right, so I'm not doing it. So you are directing your mind to the correct path. So you can see that, the puñña is like helping you to purify your mind. And then it is skillful as well. So it's not just about your, puñña is good for samsāra, you need another baggage of, good luck to come with you in the next birth. It is not like that. It is actually helping you to be a good person, and hence I used the word tendencies and habits yesterday, because you need to actually develop this, and if you see this in this way, you will think, the sila is such an important guideline so that anyone can practice who wants to achieve or attain, some spiritual, successes. And bhavana is about meditation, purifying your mind, and because when you purify, when you actually transform your way of thinking, again it is a skillful thing, no one can do it, you have to do it yourself. So that's the number one skill anyway, you got to actually realize that, if your thinking pattern, if your way of working on things is not right, you got to actually work on that, reflect and work on that. This is quite important, a skillful thing, purifying your mind. And what supports this? The other parts of the 10 meritorious states, listening to the Dhamma, talking about, the Dhamma with someone, discussing, and obviously straightening your personal views and stuff. The views of, even having the understanding of impermanence, at least having the understanding of cause and effect, at least having the understanding of the Four Noble Truth, and gradually if you do that, you are developing certain skills. So puñña is not just like seen as merit, but when you say, I think there is a misunderstanding that yes, if we say dana, sila, bhavana, and we just see it as a tick box in a certain event, and then thinking that will be helpful for you to your future life. Now, I think we should try to stop thinking in those terms, but thinking in terms like, yes, if you do something good, there is certainly it's going to come somehow someday, but you don't have to pray and ask and and anticipate that. If you sow a mango seed and you've actually that the seed has the energy to come into a big tree, and it is already there, and you don't have to pray for a tree, it's going to come. But what we need to focus is on the skills base. When you do certain good deeds, meritorious deeds like this, you are actually doing something that reduces or that supports the reduction of ego, the reduction of selfishness, the reduction of greed, reduction of anger, reduction of ignorance. And this is where you have to see it as something that is conducive for the advancement of your spiritual life or practicing the Dhamma. So therefore, when I read that story, I thought where is this connection between puñña and then this Sumana, the daughter of Anathapindika, calling her father as younger brother. It is this advancement of the mind. It is this mental, spiritual, development that she had, achieved through all the good deeds, all these meritorious deeds that we are talking about here. And she attained that certain state called the non-returner, or the second stage of enlightenment. And for those who do not know, there are something called 10 fetters. And because time is running out on this 30-minute reflection I do daily, sometimes I go a bit beyond time, and apologize if you do make appointments. But I will discuss this attainments of Nibbana another day. But for a quick reference, there are 10 things that you have to remove or eradicate, to be, or even to have the taste of enlightenment. Okay, so when Sumana was said to have achieved the second stage, she had got rid of the first three, which is belief in self. That is the first, the personality or the self acceptance or self view, and then that was removed. The second one is attachment to rites and rituals. So we can, so sometimes we have a fixed view that when you do this, you got to do it this, and you see it as in a dogmatic format that if you don't do this, you won't do this, you won't have this. So some people are too attached to rites and rituals, which is what we have to get rid of, from our personal acceptance and practices as well. And then about the skeptical doubt, or the doubt about the triple gem. What is the point of doing this? Was there really a Buddha? What will this Dhamma do? And all these doubts. So belief in self, sakkaya ditthi, attachment to rites and rituals, sila, bhatta, paramasa, and skeptical doubt, or doubt in the triple gem, vicikiccha. These are the first three things that you have to get rid of, even to actually be what we call a stream winner, or step into the waters of enlightenment. Okay, so now Anathapindika, the father, was in this, had done these three things, got rid of these three things. Now, but whereas the daughter had got weakened the next two, which is about sensuous craving, so will not pursue sensual pleasures. Now, we've been talking about this from the beginning. This is what is making us stay in the samsāra, always pursuing things that will please your senses, and always seeking things with an expectation in your mind, the bar raised every time new experience happens. Unless we realize this, we cannot actually even think of of this attainment of enlightenment. So we got to actually keep on practicing to understand what this kama raga means. Always expecting something. I use this word quite often. So this is what we have to reduce. And then vyapada is the ill will. So you can see why I do metta bhavana, because we need to reduce this ill will or ill-wishing thinking processes. So that's why every time we do metta bhavana, except on Thursdays, if you stop thinking negatively of others, That is one way of trying to think of enlightenment. So we need to start working on this and reduce expectations, stop thinking negatively about someone, and this is what was the focus yesterday as well. And I will discuss about these 10 fetters in the coming Dhamma reflections. When everything of this is in the minimized or eradicated format, in the Metta Sutta it says, you will not be born in nahijatu kappasayan punaretiti, where there is all this, where there is the reduction of this personality fixated, all these views, you will actually be free from this samsaric life. So this is what the Buddha meant, by how the Buddha said that she was not in a wrong state of mind when she died. She was trying to inform the father that she had attained a higher state, and so that the father will also work on that as well. So when we say rejoicing in puñña, means you can think of all the meritorious deeds that you do, and when you rejoice in that, you are you're confirming yourself that you are doing certain things skillfully, which is conducive to the attainment of nibbana, not just the continuity of samsāra. Puñña might be seen as something that is essential for the for the samsaric journey, but what is essential is to think about how can you make whatever good deeds that you do as skillful practices, kusala karma. So when they are kusala, when they are wholesomely good, they are never influenced by lobha, dosa and moha, and therefore this is what helps you to actually attain nibbana. So puñña can be the connection between puñña is that puñña helps you to all the things that you do as what we see as merit, as I said, from generosity, morality, meditation, then we have respecting those deserved respect, helping others, volunteering, cleaning, again sharing of merit, rejoicing other people's merit, teaching the Dhamma, listening to the Dhamma, and correcting your own views, especially correcting the views that will be helpful to get rid of what binds us in the samsāra: lobha, greed, dosa, hate, and moha, ignorance. So with that short reflection about trying to see the connection between puñña and kusala, and how it is linked to the purifying or even transforming your way of thinking and living, and how it is going to be conducive for your enhancement of your spiritual practice or practicing the Dhamma, I conclude this Dhamma reflection. So with that reflection, I would like to share merit before we do metta bhavana. In a kalpana karagan api sarat mahatmat erika kuragam genona mahatmyat darwan ruvinda sahadamita evagema leli shami samagin අද දවසේ විහාරස්ථානයේ මේ වස් කාලය තුල සිදු කරන මේ පින්කම් ඔක්තෝබර් 27 වෙනිකන් කිරීමෙන් ඒ වගේම බුද්ධ සුළු මොහොතකට කලින් විහාරස්ථානයට ඇවිල්ලා බුද්ධ පූජා තැන්පත් කිරීමෙන් ඒ දායකත්වයේ දරාගෙන විහාරස්ථානයේ දියුණු සඳහා දායකත්වයේ දරාගෙන බලාපොරොත්තු වන්නේ තමන්ගේ මහත්මාගේ නෝනා මහත්මියගේ දයාවර මෝපියුරු දෙපළ එරිකා නෝනා මහත්මියගේ මෑණියන් රූපා උඩවත්ත පියාණන් හේමා උඩවත්ත ඒ වගේම සරත් මහත්මයාගේ මෑණියන් පද්මා පෙරේරා සහ පියාණන් වික්ටර් පෙරේරා ඒ වගේම ඒ තමන්ගේ අක්කාගේ දයාවර ස්වයං පුරුෂයාණන් මීට දවස් 7කට පමණ ඉහත ප්‍රාප්ත වන යෙදුණු ඒ උපාලි අබේ වික්‍රම මහත්මයාට අද දවසේ දාන සීල භාවනා ආදී පින් රැස් කරගෙන ඒ පින් කිරීමෙන් ඒ කුසල කර්මයන් සිදු කිරීමෙන් අත්පත් කරගත්තා වූ පින් අපි අනුමෝදන් කරනවා ඒ අයට. ඒ අය සංසාරික වශයෙන් යම් කිසි දෙකින් අභව ස්ථානයක සිටිනවා නම් එයින් අත මිදිය සැප ළඟා කරගනිත්වා, සැපෙන් සිටිනවා නම් සැප තවත් වර්ධනය කරගනිත්වා, කෙලවර ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරන බෝධියකින් උතුම් අමා මහ නිවන් සුවය සාක්ෂාත් කරගන්නට හේතු වාසනා වේවායි කියලා හිතාගෙන සාදුකාරයක් දීලා පුඤ්ඤානුමෝදනා සාදු සාදු සාදු. Okay, so now we will do metta bhavana. So first of all, adjust your body. So if you are leaning, come forward. If you are resting your arms right or left, avoid that and sit straight. So upright, balanced body. And second instruction is to put your right hand on your left palm. So that is for you to make sure you don't fidget with your fingers. Third request is for you to close your eyes gently. And just take a couple of breaths, perhaps deep breaths. And as you exhale, you can feel the body relax. Breathe in and breathe out. So you can feel the relaxation of the body as you breathe out. And be mindful of this body that is quietly sitting. It's quite different from before 6:30. It's different. So you can see it's still, it's not moving. So be happy that you are well enough to attend this religious observance, and praise yourself that you have committed to this few minute sitting. If you have some family members sitting with you, be thankful for their support and praise their presence. Be mindful of their presence. Appreciate their presence with you. If there are other family members that have not joined you, it's okay. No comments, don't criticize. So let them be happy for whatever they are doing. So you let go and then come back to yourself and just be mindful of your surroundings, your infrastructure. So if you're sitting in your living room or dining table or bedroom, just be mindful of your environment. And appreciate, be grateful of their presence and just think about how your life would be without them. You can't sleep without your bed, you can't do this without that. So you see that we are so interconnected, and just be, appreciative of the things that are around you. And just now be mindful of the way, your mind is. It's trying to settle down. So we're not thinking about what happened before. We don't recall the memories. If they do come, let it go. And simply try to be here and now, not even planning for the next minute. So what you're doing now is sitting down and meditating, and just enjoy and don't look for anything. Because you know this peace that you are experiencing now can be reduced when we start expecting and looking for things. So a wandering mind is always giving you suffering. In a way, it's actually continuing to look for things. And if we are not mindful, we start bringing in our fixed views to filtered information and judging every moment, every thought brings unhappiness because we might be attached to certain things, so we let go of those. When we expect certain things and it is not the expectation, we feel frustrated, irritated. Sometimes we have a passive word called boredom, boring. They're all because we are looking for certain things and it's not there, and you are creating a gap between your ideal expectation and the present moment. So let go of all of those things. Feel free, be free, and just be here at the present moment, and that peace of mind is a very good platform for loving kindness, because that is the similar happiness. When I say happiness, there is nothing that makes you sad, and the opposite of that is happiness. It's that happiness that we wish for yourself and others all the time. Happiness. There's no ill thinking mind in you. There is no jealous mind with you. The mind is patient. The mind is not asking for things. Even if things of negativities come, we let go, we forgive, and we just try to maintain this peace of mind and happiness. And think in these lines: may I be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to me. May no problems come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May I always meet with success. May I also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May I be free from anger. May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from frustration. May I be free from anxiety and worries. May I be free from pain and suffering. Contemplate on those. Now if the following stations don't relate, you can skip, but just make the connections with the ones that relate to you. And bring in the happy faces, and may my parents, grandparents, teachers, uncles and aunts, in-laws, husband, wife or partner, children and grandchildren, brothers and sisters, cousins, nephews and nieces, friends and colleagues at work, and some neutral people you meet daily. May they all be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from anger, frustration and jealousy. May they be free from anxiety and worries. May they be free from pain and suffering. May all living beings, including your pets, birds, animals and insects that come to your garden, seen and unseen beings, including all sentient beings, be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from pain and suffering. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May I be free from pain and suffering. So we come to the close of today's live broadcast, which started at 6:30. Every day we broadcast live our evening Buddha Puja, chanting and Dhamma reflection, especially during this was our rains retreat period until 24th October, and we end up with meditation, metta bhavana like just now that we participated in. So if you want to sponsor one of the days, please do contact us and we can direct you to the relevant people who are organizing this for me, for the center, London Mindfulness Meditation Center. So making Dhamma available and practicing the Dhamma is one of the meritorious deeds as well. And therefore, during this first period, make sure our skillful acts that we are developing, you are going to be part of it. And therefore, when you do sponsor, we can dedicate that to and share merit with anyone relevant, or dedicate for certain blessing purposes such as birthdays and so and so. So if you would like to sponsor, let us know. And then you can also request your friends to participate either from Facebook or YouTube, lmmc.online, and if you subscribe, you can continuously participate as and when we go live. So with that short information, we would come to a close. So we thank again for the sponsorship of Mrs. Erica and Mr. Sarat Kuragam again family for making today's broadcast available. So may you be well, happy and peaceful. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.